What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we're going to be talking a little bit about the MyTEAM draft mode. So lads, if you guys are new to the channel and just want to find out about NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, this is the best place for it. We're going to be helping you guys best prepare for the new year, as well as just honestly best prepare for playing this game, especially if you don't want to spend money playing the game. If you want to learn about the ins and outs of NBA 2K22 MyTEAM, this is the channel for you. So today we're going to be talking about the draft, and I'm going to be talking about something that I'm going to be going in depth about it, the things I like, the things I don't like, and why 2K may have screwed everything up. And I say may because as of right now, they've screwed everything up, but they may fix it. They may fix it. And that's the best I can give you is they might fix it. So here we go. So MyTEAM draft. Let's take a look at this. In case you missed the first announcements, my draft is a new multiplayer mode where you pick a full lineup of cards. Yeah, it's essentially random team mode, just a heads up. Picking a full lineup of cards, you don't really get much of a choice. Player cards, which will include the latest MyTEAM. Sorry, which will include the latest cards in MyTEAM. Big positive. When starting a new draft, you're presented with 7 packs to choose from. These will include the latest 13 players in the coach. You'll pick up 2 players from each of the position packs. Where the draft will shine is the first pack on the left. That's the feature pack. What's the feature pack? This is where the latest release in MyTEAM will show up for you in the draft, and you can compete with, unlike other feature packs. This feature pack will only contain 3 cards which will be added to your draft lineup. So you don't actually get the choice for the feature pack. It's not like you don't even get a choice. So I'm just gonna show you guys FIFA 21 draft. I'm just going to show you guys a FIFA draft, just so that you guys, screw it, let's just go with Nepenthes. Just so you guys know what the concept is. So, with the FIFA draft, you get to choose a captain, which is like your main player, which you would think would be like the feature pack. But the feature pack, you don't get a choice. You just get 3 random players from the new promo. It's probably going to be the 3 lowest players. The way my team is, it's probably going to be the 3 lowest players as well. So you get to choose a captain, and then if you pick, say, a striker, you then get 5 choices, and you get to pick 1. But then you get to do that for every single position. For every position, you get to pick 1 of 5 players. Whereas in 2K, it says here you get to pick 2 from every position pack. And you might be saying, you know what, picking starter and a bench from 5. FIFA wouldn't make much of a difference in FIFA if, for example, your starting striker and your backup striker, and then the same guy on the bench, you just had to pick 2 of these 5. It wouldn't make much of a difference, and I do agree with that. The feature pack, though, it says that's where you get all the new cards. And it also says here that they'll be the best players in life, but look for feature packs to be updated. So basically, these are going to be updated every Friday. And then it says the positional packs will also be updated as well, but don't count on previous feature packs showing up there immediately after cycling through. So basically, the positional packs are probably going to be updated once a season. And that could lead to a huge problem because you guys know the discrepancy between start of season and end of season cards in MyTEAM. Like, a card at the start of the season could be an absolute scrub. But one thing I wouldn't mind, though, is if, for example, in season, 4, only season 3 cards go into the positional packs. Rather than no, base cards and stuff like that. That would be cool. Because what are you competing for? Each draft will net you a guaranteed league pack, which means there's going to be you're going to have to pay to enter. And at least a single pack in a draft exclusive Ascension. Full of prize to add to your permanent collection. For every win you get in limited run, you get additional Ascension picks. The high stakes of draft, and you can expect some great rewards. So I actually do think that's not too bad. It's basically like the same reward system as 2K18. But it says right here, once you complete the run by either getting 10 wins or taking 3 losses. 10 wins! Like in any of these other draft games, like FIFA and stuff. Again, FIFA's the only one that I've played. I assume Madden's the same. You draft your team, and you play I think it's 5 wins to draft to go all the way. But if you lose, you're out. So your rewards get better as you win more games. But if you lose 1, you get to redraft a new team. Now you have to lose 3 games. So if you get a draft team that sucks, you're just backing out of 3 games in a row. And that's what's going to end up happening. Is if you take out a draft team that sucks, you're going to end up backing out of games. So this just doesn't work. This system doesn't work unless there's a reset option. Because then it will literally just turn into draft being you load into a game and someone else quits on you for 50% of your games because they realized, oh, they didn't get a team they wanted. So if they want to actually like get their draft done, or if they want to actually get a good draft, they have to quit 3 games in a row. So like you could end up winning 10 games without playing a game from just people quitting on you. And if people aren't quitting on you, 10 freaking games is like 6 hours of playtime. No one wants to play 6 hours with a draft team. The purpose, like the whole point of a draft mode is that you get to pick your squad and you get to constantly use a bunch of different players. If you want any rewards, you have to play 6 hours of the game, which is more of the game than most people play in a week. Like an average player does not play 6 hours of 2K a week. They really don't. So I don't get what their logic was behind this. And then the worst part about it, it's not even a real draft mode. Flip 2 of 3 cards. So you know the way in FIFA, you get to flip 5 cards and you get to pick 1 card? And it's the same in Madden, it's the same in MLB as far as I'm aware. In 2K, you get 5 cards, but you don't even get all 5 of the cards. You're not even allowed to pick from all 5 of the cards. You're only allowed to flip 3 of the cards. So 2 of the cards get unflipped. You have to pick 2 of 3. You literally have to pick 2 of 3. So basically, you have to make sure you flip the 3 correct cards because who knows, this card could be a 76 overall and then these 2 cards could be 99 overalls. But if you didn't flip the right cards, you have to pick between 2 of 3 scrubs while the good players are behind flip walls for some reason. Like, it does not make sense. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's literally 2K. The only difference between this and 2K18. So, we all hated 2K18 pack and playoffs. Like, we all hated 2K18 pack and playoffs. Like, if you look at, say, the draft mode from, like, Jess's videos, they all hated this concept. And it was the same concept, like, say you pick a player, and then all of a sudden you could only flip 2 players, and you had to pick one of the 2. And then all the other cards flipped. Like, that was, like, as the year went on, that was a big reason why that was another reason why everyone stopped. That was one of the most hated concepts of it. Except, back then, you at least had 1 of 2. You could pick 1 of 2, so at least you had a 50-50 chance of getting, so you had a 50-50 choice. Now you have to pick 2 of 3. So you have to pick 66% of the cards. So instead of FIFA, where for their 11 players and their 11 bench, there's 22. 22 by 5. They have to pick 22 out of 110 possible options. In 2K, you pick 10 of 15 options. You only have 15 options to pick cards. You have to pick 10 of 15. Like, it's genuinely doesn't make sense. Because not only do you have a blueprint in games like FIFA and Madden as to what to do, you have a blueprint as what not to do, like 2K18. And if you guys don't know, let's go pack and playoffs rewards. Pack and playoffs rewards. There's a Nick the Bulls fan video which shows it. You can see right here. Obviously, thankfully, they're not doing this BS like they did back in 2K18. But the rewards are just an ascension board. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't actually get it. Like, it's a little bit improved. It is genuinely a tiny bit improved. But, like, you don't get to choose your new cards. So you just get 3 random new cards in the pack. You don't even get to pick. You don't even get to choose what new cards you get, which is nuts. You legitimately do not even get to choose which of the cards you get. It's not like what it should have been was 13 different packs and you pick 1 of 5, and that fixes it. That literally fixes the whole mode. 13 different packs and 1 of 5. Heck, you know what? Pick 2 of 5. If you can flip all 5, of these cards, that fixes a major flaw in it. And I think that's going to be fixed. Because that is the one thing people have really stressed. Like, people have really stressed. They're like, oh no, this is 2K18 again. This is going to be a disaster. I've been in touch with devs, and they've assured me that the feedback is being passed on. I don't know what that's going to do. I don't know if that's going to fix it. But it needs to be fixed. Like, this is not a draft mode. This is a random team mode. I actually don't think a random team mode's the worst thing in the world, but it's not a draft. Do not put these 5 letters here because it's not a draft. I don't think the mode, like, this is not saying the mode's going to be terrible if it stays as is. It might actually be quite fun, but it's not a draft. It is not a draft. If you only choose between 10 If you only get an option of 15 cards and you're told pick 10 of these, then it's not a draft mode. This should be, you should scribble out draft and call it random team. Because if you called it random team, it would still be the same thing. And like, it would still be the exact same mode, and people wouldn't be as pissed off, because again, you have a blueprint for what to do. You also have a blueprint for what not to do, but yet you've basically taken 97% of 2K18 and taken nothing from the draft mode that work. I don't get it. I don't know how this got passed through, but it did. So yeah, things that are not going to be changed, by the way. The 10 wins, 3 losses is not going to be changed. It's not going to be changed straight away. It might change for season 2, but it's BS. Like, because in FIFA, it's 5 wins, 1 loss, and games take 15 minutes. In 2K, games take 30 minutes, and you need 10 wins. Like, 10 wins, 3 losses, 13 games. You could be playing 8 hours before you can redraft a new team. Not even redraft a new team. Reuse, like, a team. Like, that is more... If you just play the draft mode, it's 6 hours of playing to just play through a run. Like that. And I know some people are like, oh, yeah, but, like, we want to use this good team. What if you want to use the good team? Then fair enough, like, just... But the more chance, you'll always get the cards again. If you can constantly play more drafts. Like, that's the thing. If you guys don't know anything about the FIFA game mode, the most popular thing is choosing your team. Not necessarily playing the games. The thing that people are most excited about in the draft is getting to pick their team. Whereas 2K have completely neglected that. Have basically said, you know what? You actually don't get any choice picking your team. It's the luck of the draw. Like, they might... Pack-in playoffs. This was a great name, because this was essentially, like, this wasn't a draft mode. This was a mode where you basically packed a card and then you played the playoffs. This should not be called a draft, because this is you basically, whatever you get in your pack, that's what you're getting. You don't have a choice. There's no real choice. This is pack-in playoffs. This is pack-in playoffs 2.0. This is not draft. This is not the draft. So yeah, like, I think 2K, whoever came up with this idea, contacted nobody who's ever played a draft mode before, had some weird idea in their head about what people want to do, thinking that people are really interested in playing 6 hours with one team, and they don't realize the main draw of the draft mode is that you get to use so many different cards, you get to pick your own team, you get to be creative, you get to constantly use different teams. They don't understand what the selling point of a draft mode is, and this is what we've got. We have got Pack-in Playoffs 2.0. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I pray that this changes going into launch, because I know stuff's being forwarded. The devs, I can guarantee you, at the MyTEAM devs know exactly why most people are very unhappy with this draft mode. And especially once the game comes out, why people are going to continue to be very unhappy with the draft mode. And that's the big thing, that why I always said we needed like a casual mode. I always said, oh yeah, we don't need a draft mode, because I was like, 2K have a really bad track record with implementing draft modes. And they continue to have a really bad track record with draft modes. I just hope between now and launch, they can fix some stuff. Because this could be bad. And it's actually impressive that it's this bad, because there's a blueprint. Like, it's actually funny. Like, not only, again, they took away any sort of draft mode for 4 years because of how much we hated Pack-in Playoffs. They saw how successful draft mode is in other games. So instead of making a draft mode like the ones that are being successful, they basically copy-pasted 2K18, except the only difference is now you get to use a 13-man squad instead of a 5-man squad. There are certain situations, like obviously again, I can almost guarantee the individual devs agree with all the problems, but whoever the higher up is that is finalizing on these decisions, I would love to have a talk with them. I would love to have a talk with them, because what they did to TTO was BS. The fact that Unlimited and Limited are the exact same, and this is not a draft mode. I would love to talk to whoever the person who finalizes decisions on MyTEAM is, because they didn't make one correct decision in terms of gameplay. Outside of the challenges, by the way. Challenge is unbelievably good. The new way of the challenges, that is probably the best addition to MyTEAM in years. The fact that you don't have to play the whole 5 minute course once you hit the challenge you win. Sorry, aside from that, that is a brilliant idea. Aside from that, I do not believe they made one correct decision with any game modes. So I would honestly love to just not even have a rant, just have a conversation as to seeing what their train of thought was, because there's no other conclusion that I can come up with other than they have no idea what their target audience is, that they have no idea what their player base wants, and that they have no idea what works in other video games because they could have just copied and pasted. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.